Hello everyone. So we're back with I saw 3 ships come sailing in. This is part of your competition. So everyone is going to try and do this. Teach yourself via this video for this one. Okay. So we're starting with our low D. Remember, don't blow out the candle. That is really important. Okay. So low D, and then you're going to your G. Okay. So you're going from your 6 to your 3. All right. So it's D, G, G, A, B, and then to your high D. So again, that's something you have to practice, from your B to your high D. Keep practicing that all the time because that's really important. From your high D, you go back to B and then to A. Then we go from A to high C. Now to go from A to high C, it's your 2 fingers on top for your A. Then to change to your C, you put on your 3rd finger and you take off the top finger. Okay, so watch that again, from A to the C. A to the C. Keep practicing that. That's another tricky one for you. A to high C. Okay, so just go through that first line again on your sheet. So it's D, G, G, A, B, high D, B, A, high C. That's your first line. So we're going to do that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it again. 4, 5. Okay, off you go and practice that. We're back now with line 2 of the I saw 3 ships come sailing in. At the end of line 1, you were on the high C, okay, which was your 2 fingers at the top. You take off the very top finger and then your fingers 2 and 3 down. So your next note after that is a B. Now that's a movement that you need to practice as well. Remember we talked before about resting the tin whistle on your chin when you're practicing a movement. So it's from your C to your B, your C to your B. Practice that because that's your movement from line 1 into the beginning of line 2. All right. Now the notes in this section are B, G, G, A, F, D, D. Do that again. B, G, G, A, F, D, D. Now you probably need to practice the A, which is 2, to the F, which is 4, to the D, which is 6. A, F, D. 2, 4, 6. Make sure you practice that as well. So we're going to do line 2 now all together from the B. Okay, and 4, 5, 6. And again, 4, 5, 6. And one more time, when you have a repeated note, use the tongue at the back of your teeth to break up, to give you that little gap between the 2 notes so that you can actually define each separate note. And again, line 2. Okay, you have a little D there at the end of that line. Now, I'm going to do lines 1 and 2 together. Here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once more, those two together from the very beginning, starting after 5. Remember, we're coming in on beat 6. We discussed today in class as to why we start on beat 6. So I count to 5 and you start on beat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can go off now and practice lines 1 and 2 together. So the end of line 2 was you ended on the quick D, okay? So it's basically bringing you back into what you have done earlier. Line 3 is the exact same as line 1. So you just need to remember that the last D at the end of line 2 is the same as the first D at the beginning of line 1. All right, so we end on the quick D and you're back into the same as line 1. All right, so here's line 3. And there's that movement into that C again. I'll do that once more, going from the D at the end of line 2. Off you go and practice. Back now with line 4. Now this is your final line. Again, you ended the third line on that high C and you're moving into the B. So again, keep practicing that movement from the C to the B. Okay, we're starting line 4 on the B. G, G, A, B, A, G. Okay, so the last line is all in the left hand, all in your hand on the top. So it's B, G, G, A, B, A, G. Watch once more. B, G, G, A, B, A, 2, 3, and G, 2. And we don't count that last count because that's the one from the very start. Remember I said music always balances itself. That's why there's only 5 counts in the very last bar, because that 6th count has been put onto the beginning of the piece to give you that upbeat. So line 4 then. Line 4 was counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I'm going to do lines 3 and 4 now together. So this is from the last note at the end of line 2, which is your low D, and into line 3 and 4. 4, 5. Sorry, I got a bit mixed up in the middle there. I couldn't think of where I was going. My mistake. See, we can all make mistakes and that's all right. Okay, going from the same place again. So the low D at the end of line 2. 4, 5. Have fun. Come back for the final part of the video, which will be all 4 lines together. Okay, so we're back now. We're doing all 4 lines together. From the very beginning, nice slow pace to start, then we do it a little bit faster. You do this at your own pace. If you're not able to keep up with this at the minute, just go back and do some more practice. No panic. Ready? 4, 5. And we go back down and do it a little bit quicker. Ready? 4, 5. Have fun practicing, and I will see you next week.